Action, we're going. We'll let people trickle in, come in and out as kind of the podcast goes. And I'll get my these sunglasses for the Joyage Kingdom have been on. You guys
Love
know
it.
it's go time. Guys, welcome to the Joyage Kingdom. Episode 113, I believe. I'm Cage, your guide. I'll be replacing the voice inside your head for now. Giving you a break from the constant internal monologue that is the human mind. I want to say first, thanks for listening or viewing on whatever platform you're on. If you haven't already, click that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the kingdom, follow us on Twitter. We have a very, very awesome guest today. We have Rafi, founder of the Rafi Lounge, Kung Fu master, monk, among many other things. And he's had quite an interesting life and very related to the Web3 world because he has created a very exclusive lounge that a lot of people, if you follow me, that I'm sure you've seen some of the other people that attended. I saw Amir there. I saw Andres there. I saw Zerk partying up, dude. Well, first, thank you for coming to the show, and I just would love to hear how the lounge went in the event.
Well, thank you for having me. And the event was amazing. First of all, I got to tell you, the fact that we succeeded to have so many of the OGs from the NFT world in one, and I wouldn't say under one roof because we are an outdoors facility,
Yeah,
but under the same area. Was amazing, and I got to tell you that one by one, each one of those guys is just amazing and humble, and there to help, which was an amazing experience for me because I'm a Tai Chi man, as you know, and I like to look at world as Tai Chi. So I always like to listen and learn from others. And it was a very big education weekend for me.
yeah. I'm sure it was, dude. I mean, you had some of the greatest minds and the thought leaders who have been here since the beginning, surfing all the waves of NFT land. And I've met most of the guys that went at NFT NYC a few months ago. Were you able to go to that, by the way?
No, no, I'm to tell you the truth, I never left my lounge for 2 years except like 2 days that my friend Jamie Foxx called me to Cabo. That's the only time that I ever left. I never left the lounge. No time.
Man, well, I mean, if that's not reason to be interested and at least to find out what's going on in this lounge, then I don't know what is, fam. I mean, so actually, you know what? I have the website pulled up. I'd love to go through it because the website's awesome. I'm just a nerd, so I just like going through these kind of things. So here, let me
That's
pull up the
good.
website and we'll run through it because it's a bunch of cool things. Okay, all right, and sharing screen in three, two, one. So here we go. The Rafi Lounge NFT. This is dope. So do you want to like walk me through it while I kind of just run
Yeah,
through the
of
website?
course. You would see a few things. Obviously, we have yoga. We have co-working space. We release doves on the day of the event,
Oh,
which
love
we
it.
do it randomly. This is my friend Major. He's a very big musician, also in the space. So we do meditation. We do butterfly Reiki meditation. We have a garden with butterflies, and people go there and do Reiki meditation. Then I teach Taoism in this room as well. You see that? And you have
Yeah,
like
very cool.
ceremonies. So this is really an outdoor space that have to do a lot of with a co-working space and wellness at the same time. And as you see now, we're going into the values, which is integrity, community. I think community is key, is number one, and then
Yeah.
mindfulness and innovation. Innovation is obviously anybody who understand how to all the time move around because I'm a Tai Chi man, understand that you all the time have to adapt. That's number one. Mindfulness is always when you care about the others, then you will climb up in life rather than all the time be from a defense mechanism.
Mm.
Uh, on top, you see integrity, which is key. Without integrity, you have nothing in life. And community is important to really support each other and to go up, as you know, in the NFT world as well. And what you see in the middle is a mandala. I myself study to do mandalas. Mandalas is a geometrical artwork that we do usually from sand. It's a Tibetan art that meant to give you an insight to the highest spiritual realms, and at the same time is a meditation form of art.
Wow.
So I do that, and this mandala was created because this is what we're minting tomorrow.
Yeah. So this is the NFT's artwork. Are they all the same? Are there different like
We have different
colorations
ones
or?
because we have 3 tiers. Out of them, we launching actually tomorrow two of them. We have one that called the Unity, which is the Unity is the most important because that's where everybody can grab their wallets and do something very quick because it's only zero point 0.1 ETH and
Mhm.
you get a lot for it. So what we
Yeah.
did, we did a very limited access to that. And when I say limited access, it's 2222. There's 2,222 for zero point 0.1 ETH only. And for that, people will be able to go and look at different classes that we have to offer live.
Mm.
And The purpose why we did it limited, because we wanted to do it on much more bigger scale, but we didn't want to do it right away, because we wanted to first have what we call a core group that also is becoming part of us, which
Yeah.
means that I would ask them questions about the experience. So when we open it to the big crowd, they would have to tell me, Rafi, we didn't hear you well enough, or we didn't see the angles correctly, or it's boring, whatever it
Yeah.
is. We want to adjust it, so when we do the big one, then the phase two, then it's really going well. So we gave it at no price, really, 0.1 ETH, just so we can get this community, get the experience, see the bandwidth, see all the tackle all the issues that we have on the way. And obviously I understand that a lot of people will buy it for the flip. I think obviously it's a very good time for flipping and buying. In the last few days the market goes, I didn't even see what's happening in the last few minutes, but I was teaching Tai Chi right before that. And but definitely that's one tier. Then the other tier is called the Mindful. The Mindful is for 4 ETH, and that's the one that people can come and buy and be presence and enjoy each one of our location. They can come with their friends and do co-working space. They
Mm.
can join our classes in every location that we're going to open. Right now we're in Malibu in 11,000 square feet overlooking the ocean across from Nobu and Soho House. And we see the Malibu Pier and the surfing and everything. And then later on we're going to open Miami, Scottsdale, Arizona, um, Newport Beach,
Oh yeah.
and also we're looking at Hollywood itself, so that we have another location here in LA.
That's gonna be
So
awesome.
yeah, so all of them are going to open tomorrow morning, and we're extremely excited about it. Obviously, all when I I was an Israeli lieutenant, so I say all guns forward right now, and we moving forward with no sleep, not much sleep,
No
as you know.
sleep.
Yeah,
That's funny. Oh, I see Nikki G in the house. What's up, Nikki? Dude, well, it sounds like you have the right people around you. I know you do. I know you and Andres know each other well. Andres is a smart dude. And a lot of the things that you just said are things that we talk about, having the right community of people around you who know what they're doing to where you don't make silly mistakes. Like, so a
yeah.
lot of the mistakes that are made from projects are
I,
literally just silly, just
I
so
tell you
silly.
what I learned in life. When you step into any project, you will have mistakes, no matter what. But only for mistakes you're going to learn and polish. And the most important is, again, go back to integrity. Make sure that whatever you do it with integrity. When you promise people something, promise to understatement and over deliver.
Mm,
That's the key to success, in my opinion. Always tell them less and then surprise them with something. That's key. And then they say, wow, this guy really delivered, and more and more. And then you keep on delivering and delivering. Everybody will say, so I'm not even going to tell you much about what else is in my mind. Somebody asked me right in the beginning, Rafi, would you buy NFT if you would be an outsider and go there? I said, I would buy 10. I
nah,
would buy 10. They said, why? They said, because I know what's in my mind. I know what's in my mind. I know where I'm going with it. So it's a very important thing to have all these people around and really help you. And I've got, like you say, Andres and John and Brett and Amir and all those people that give me advice and really
yeah,
been nothing but nice to me and giving me the best of advice how to go about this whole concept and bring the Web 2 to the Web 3 and vice versa, bring the Web 3 to the Web 2,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is even harder, because that's something that I think that if something that tomorrow people will ask me, Rafi, where did you shine where others don't, is I brought the Web 3 to the Web 2, because I have already members. I have a lot of members, and all of them wanted to be in the Web 2, but the Web 3, but they knew nothing about it. I have a lot of influencer girls that made a lot of money and want to know about it. They don't know how to go to the NFT, what to buy, what not to buy, how to open a MetaMask, how to do all those things. And then I brought all those guys that really all they want to do is share their information. And like I told them, stop being on the computer 24/7, you know? Like I said, touch the grass, but reach for the moon, you know?
that's beautiful. That is
Yeah.
definitely beautiful. And no, you picked the right people to go on that trip. They're all very humble. When I went to NFT NYC, I was nervous because I'd never been to an event where I was also a creator and then I was going to meet other creators. I just didn't know what they were going to be like in person. Like we're always, play and nice and fun over, online, but it can be different. It doesn't always have to be. And when I went there, everyone was the coolest guy. Nikki, I see Nikki in here.
Yes.
Oh, he's also talking about some kind of Miami house. I'm not sure. Oh, it might be for Art Basel or something. Are you guys doing something?
Yes, we're going to Art Basel. We're going to do a pop up there. It's going to be very exciting. I talked to many people from We just had an article that came out 2 days ago in Coin Telegraph, if you're familiar, and they got one of the reporters going to moderate it, and we're going to have a panel. So we're going to bring all the guys back together again.
Let's go.
Hopefully, everybody will be there, but most of them already said yes, we're in, and we're
Yeah.
going to mix wellness, information or knowledge about the NFT world, and fun. We're going to have
Yeah,
all
man.
three. Yeah, it's gonna be
How did they
fun.
enjoy the like the more spiritual things that you guys did? Because we didn't do a whole lot of that in New York. I'm gonna be honest. We did a lot of drinking and yelling and falling and getting lost. Like that's pretty much the extent of our trip in New York.
I didn't let them. Let me tell you something. I've been a kung fu teacher now for 40 years. And I think that in the end, or you have it or you don't. Some people will be leaders in the world, some people don't. And when you become a leader in your own world, then you have that presence. And I'm not saying it out of ego, it's just a matter of reality. I have that presence that when people around me, they start to know, okay, maybe we have to be a little bit more in line because we will have enough time to party. But when we're around that person, we will gain some knowledge that tomorrow might not be here, or I might not be with you.
Mm.
So they all were they loved it. We had fun. I learned them how to push each other and how not to get pushed, and things like that. So we had a lot of fun with the Tai Chi and the Qigong and all those things. And then we did sound bath and salsa. Yeah, I brought a guy, Max from Dancing with the Stars, to teach everybody salsa. It was
Hell yeah.
fun. But with the fun, there was a lot of information. And also I showed them how the spiritual world meets the Web3, the most beautiful way that people don't even see it. And they all look at me like, you sure you didn't start Bitcoin? You sure that you're like not somebody that, because there is so much that I see. And I think that I study Taoism, I study Buddhism, I study Kabbalah. And I like to look at pictures as an empty canvas. And then you start to put the puzzle. And every time the puzzle fits in
Mm.
different way, then you say, wow, this Web3 is really spiritual. So when you tell them that, they're like, oh, wow, I never thought about it like that. And I can show you some little things that are like amazing. I mean, if you want, I can show you.
Right now?
Yeah, I can show you. I can explain you little things that are
Yeah.
really cool.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Example. In the spiritual world, there are two books that happen in the same time. One of them happened in Canaan, which was Israel before Israel was Israel, was written by Abraham, if you know Abraham in the Bible.
Mhm.
It's called the Book of Formation. At the same time, another book was created in China. It's called the I Ching, Book of Changes. And both of them starting the same way. They say first was the one, then two, then three, then all living things. And then they start to talk more and more, and they say that there's been 32 mysterious ways. 32 mysterious for the down, and 32 mysterious for the upper worlds. So in Kabbalah, they explain that the 32 correlates to the 22 Hebrew letters, that are all packages of energy, and 10 dimensions. And in China, they talk about the Bagua, which is the eight. It's like a yin yang sign with the eight kind of like lines around it, and then it distributes itself to 64. And they say that those 64 is the book of I Ching, which is the book of changes. So they're both in different parts of the world 4,000 years ago talk about the same thing. And if you look at every spiritual study after that, it starts to base itself on those 64 mysterious ways. And it says there's 64 paths that the world will be connected through them.
Mm.
The world will be connected. And it will, in the end, become one, which oneness is everything, right?
Yeah.
So first you have the one, then it distributes to everybody, and then through 64 mysterious ways, it will become now together. And you look at the world of decentralizing. And first there's a one that everything has to be in one direction with one path. Then it decentralized, which means that everybody is guaranteed for each other, so to speak. Everybody become a verifier, and that's where the word of Web3 coming right now, that we will all become a verifiers. Probably we all, through our little device that we have, a small verifier, right? And then it goes through a what? For a technology called a blockchain. And
Mhm.
if you look at the blockchain, it's every time when something created in one side or the other side, it creates a block, right? And that's because this number probably can never come back, because between all the changes and everything, the chances of this block to come again in the same code is close to none, right?
Mhm.
And how many codes inside each block, do you know?
Dude, I should know, to be honest, but I'm trying to blank.
64. 64. It's exactly 64. And that's exactly the I Ching. That's 64 that can bring you the whole spectrum of the world and all the possibilities. So whoever did it, and it's not me, understood the Taoism to the T. And that's a great
Wow.
thing, you know? And in the end, what's the purpose? Is to unite us through that. Because when you talk about decentralization, I don't see it as decentralization of the computers or the computer system. I'm talking about decentralization of organizations and fundamental uh, organizations of the world. You will not have anymore the need in heavy verification from governments, insurance companies. It's all going to verify itself through this network. So somebody said to me, Rafi, what if somebody penetrates and change the code? You can't. It's too much. You just can't. It will be the perfect system. So people are scared of that on one hand. On the other hand, this decentralizing is necessary because I gave example yesterday to somebody. Um, I go to the Himalaya. I travel a lot to the Himalayas, places like that, right? I go to Tibet. I go all the way to the Himalayas. I decide, okay, I'm going home. For some reason, I don't know why my stupidity drove me in this direction. I wanted to go straight. I felt I need to go to Nepal. I had enough cold weather. I need to go to Nepal. I go down. I go too quickly. When you go from the high altitudes all the way down too quickly, you get mountain sick. I got
Mm,
mountain sick. I'm in the youth hostel that I'm there, I backpack, so to speak, and I'm shivering and I feel like really nauseous. 2 days I have to wait for doctors because they had to verify before they take me to the hospital, so to speak, that I'm insured.
oh
And it took
wow.
48 hours because I'm still far from any place.
Yeah.
If you're a verifier and we're going to do decentralizing, I don't need to pay even the insurance man. It will just verify itself, and right away they will know there's an insurance thing behind it, and that's it. That's where it stops.
So you're sitting there sick as fuck, going, God, why did they just not have an NFT of this, all this stuff? I would have had 48 hours extra.
Right? I'm
Yeah.
telling you. And then it was one pill, by the way. It took one pill to fix it. They give you one pill, it's done. You know,
Wow.
there's a lot of things that we need to do. So information, database. Obviously, right now the Web3 is still heavy to carry. I mean, when you talk about transactions per second, right? You talk a normal credit card processor, they can do about 140 to 180,000 transactions per second. When you talk about the blockchain, it's maybe 14, 15 per second. There's
Yeah.
still clumsiness in that it's still heavy. The bandwidth is not there. But and I think Ethereum is on it, and so many others too. They're all competing. Who's
Mhm.
going to be the first one to get the verifying, way in a very very smooth way where we all part of that. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be amazing.
That's gonna be cool. It's gonna be super cool, dude. I mean, the thing I always it's like my North Star with NFT, crypto, Web3 stuff, is just more the idea that like the fact that a lot of things are becoming accessible via digital, whatever, digital paths, and these are the digital paths being built. So I'm like, okay, doesn't I don't really know who it's gonna be, but this technology and this direction of the world seems to be where we're headed. All the richest people, the biggest companies, countries, even like my mom, she's Japanese, so I'm half Japanese. Like Japan, I just saw the other day announced that they're like all in on the metaverse, and I was like, okay, there's
Yeah.
too many big players here that are all in on this for
It's
this
too
to just go
advanced.
away.
It's too advanced for that to go wrong. That's what people have fear, but every people have fear from everything that is new. Everything that is new,
True.
it's fear, and it shouldn't be. It should be excitement rather than fear. And those that get excited make money. The market yesterday, everybody got into fear. What did I say? It's the best opportunity. People say, "Well, aren't you scared to drop tomorrow?" I said, "No, I'm excited to drop tomorrow. That's the time." Billionaires were not made in good times. Most billionaires were made in hard time. When the market drop, when everything sink, they start to buy stuff and they become billionaires. I have a lot of them who come into this lounge. When I say loud, it's handful, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
Billionaires in one place. All of them made their money when everything crashed.
Hmm.
So it's not even a crash. I don't call it a crash yesterday. I call it adjustments. It has to happen. It was a good adjustment, actually. People needed to know exactly what's happening. And somebody called on another, company to say, hey, show me the paperwork and show me
Yeah.
what you have, really. And we needed to know that too. But it's going to adjust itself. It's part of that big adjustments.
Yeah.
So I look at the digital formula of membership. It's a no-brainer. Everybody has to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm the first one to really do a membership formula, because I think that not many people. Here is the thing, as you know, in the NFT, people usually, or they understand of creating communities, like yeah, Brett and those people that are genius in making communities. So they'll create a community and give you something that is valuable
Yep.
to this community, and that's one way, and that's fine. But nobody will give a physical membership in a place, because a, to tell you the truth, most of people who are in my position, if there are any, because nobody really opened a wellness or and the co-working space. But somebody who have a gym that is very big, network of gyms, they wouldn't dare to say now overnight, I'm doing it NFT, and risk millions of dollars that they put inside. They
Mm.
tell you, we're going to open in 2024 a thing. I'm not even going to say what. And if you want to, and they will start to pump everybody and to hype up everybody
Yeah.
to create the community towards that. And then there's no risk. If I didn't do it, no risk, no foul.
Yeah.
I put everything online. I put everything online. And that's why also by tomorrow, I'm opening a very limited one. I am still Web 2 who is merging with the Web 3, and I want to make sure that I'm always covering all ends. So when tomorrow comes, I can sustain what I did and do it correctly. And if members did not have the mind to jump into it quickly, it's their tough luck.
Yeah.
You still need to pay me membership annually, which is higher than a lifetime.
Hmm.
Makes sense what I'm saying?
Yes.
So with that said, I think that the digital membership gonna take place and gonna allow us to protect our members in many, many ways. Members right now are not protected. I don't know if you, but so many others during pandemic were part of a membership of a gym. And then few months go by, tomorrow they will open, tomorrow they will open. 6 months later, they said, hey, hold on. I just paid 6 months for something I didn't even
Yeah.
use. Now what?
Man.
You're stuck. And trust me, I always belong to some of the highest membership clubs in the world. I'm out because I don't believe in that formula. I
Mm.
believe that if I'm not here for a year because there was a pandemic, you're not going to come to me and tell me we'll give you points to buy some soap. That's not going to work for me, right? It happened. Happened.
You're right.
Hands down. I'm not going to say the name, but it hands down, it happened to me. So I know from my own experience, I said, enough.
Mm.
I'm going to give back. So when everybody right now coming and everybody's going to be here at the lounge, I know we're going to sell out tomorrow, no problem. But I also made it very narrow so that I can control what's happening and the outcomes. So I can deliver and I can show how the Web 2 supporting the Web 3, what the Web 3 really supporting the Web 2 experience. You understand? That's very, very important right now for people to understand. So, with that said, I'm looking at the fear factor from the last 24 hours, and I'm looking. That's not a fear. That's an opportunity.
Yeah.
That's an opportunity. And let me tell you, there's a lot of people who are gonna put money from their dollars to buy. I don't
Mm.
even know. I think tomorrow. I wish I did. Yesterday, I thought I'm gonna jump because I had this AMA with a Brett, and everybody were on that, and I said I wanted to jump, guys. I will put ETH against each one to tell you that tomorrow everything going to adjust back. And I should have done that because I knew that we wake up in the morning and everything gonna be fine. Because that adjustment is adjustment of listen, there was election, there were a lot of things. The Reds flooded, it was a lot of things that people didn't anticipate or maybe waited. So yes, there's gonna be some turmoils, it's normal. You don't live in the world that everything is flat. If it's flat, go sleep.
Yeah.
But when it's down, that's the time to make moves.
Well, there's a lot
I'm
of things you
excited.
can't control, right? I mean, there's like a couple of things with FTX and Binance that caused people to panic. And then last night it was at like 1100 ETH. Everyone was like, "Oh, ETH is going to 500 again." And you wake up today, it's like at like 12 or 1300, I think. And
13 already. You know what?
yeah,
I think it's 14 already. I mean, I
is it
I,
back
I
up?
was like, I don't know. I was on Tai Chi lessons, so it was 13 some. But
That's funny.
I tell you what, but
Also,
now
TikTok
it's
fam,
under
I
14.
appreciate you guys leaving the likes. Running it up. Thank you. If you have so many questions, drop them in the chat as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah,
Dude, that's awesome. That is super cool. And also, so speaking of all the different characters you've had come through the lounge, the cool thing is about this Web3 lounge is that it's been up and running for a long time, and it's been a thing. It's an actual thing. It's been going on with or without the NFT. It was going to keep going on.
yes.
Talk to me about like either what you've learned or just cool things that have come from the fact that you've opened this lounge up and that you've had billionaires come in, celebrities come in, people who have been successful in whatever medium that they've chose to roll with for their life. Just talk to me about that. Like, what are the cool stories and like just stuff like that, I guess.
We have a lot of people that come here that I'm like, wow, I get people that come here. Some of them are my friends. I gain a lot of friends or students for that matter. Anyone from Van Halen, both of them, the brothers, from the band. Eddie passed away already, but we had so many people because I opened in the midst of pandemic, right in the beginning. So people looked for somewhere to breathe for a second, and somebody who says, "Hey, it's going to be okay." And that's exactly what I did. I say, "Hey, it's going to be okay," and it was okay. But Jamie Foxx was my friend. Come here and randomly would call people and say, "Hey, do you play ping pong? Because we got a ping pong table here."
Nice.
Or do you play chess? I myself, I'm a backgammon kind of guy. I'm Israeli, so I'll challenge everybody on the backgammon. I love that. You have, one day I sit here and suddenly I got this guy who is a Native American, long hair, a bone in his nose, and I look at him and he says, "Hi," and I'm like, "Hi," and he says, "I'm the chief of the Chumash Nation." I'm like, "Wow," and he says, "Yeah, Chumash Nation are the only Marine nation in the Native Americans, and we protect all the land across all the Malibu and Santa Monica Mountains all the way up to Santa Barbara and those areas, and that's where we did it. And we have the biggest lands here with reservations and everything," which I didn't know. And he says, "I had a dream last night that I need to come here and bless your place."
Wow.
And he did a whole ceremony with feathers and the whole thing, and he danced all around. It was really cool. I get things that's what excites me. I mean, I get Jamie Foxx coming here. He's my friend, so I already get used to it.
Right.
Gerard Butler is my friend. I'm used to it. He come to do Tai Chi, sound bath, all those things. All those people come there. But I get like a few days ago, Wednesday, this woman come and she said to me, "Rafi, I have somebody to bring you." I said, "Who is that?" He says, "It's the Lama of Nepal." I said, "Okay." And he comes here and he says, "I've been hearing about you. I've been hearing what you do here on the spiritual world, and I wanted to connect with you and to come here and to meet you in person." I said, "That's amazing." And we start talking. And I said, "How long are you staying here?" I said, "Well, I'm leaving on Saturday." I said, "Is there a way that I can keep you here for Sunday? Because on Sunday I always give my lectures. I would love you to be part of the lecture." He said, "If you can arrange me a place to sleep, I'll stay with you one more day." So he stayed, and we had a full house of 100 people here. And he gave a whole lecture about mindfulness and being in the moment. And then we did a sound bath, and it was just beautiful. And then in the end, he said to me, "Rafi, I have a place that I'm building in Nepal. It's a temple in the mountains of the Himalayas." And he showed me pictures. He said, "In 4 months or 5 months, it's ready. And I want to call it Rafi Lounge, and I want to allow all your members to come for free to come to meditate."
Wow.
Dude. And that just happened. So when I tell you I have a lot of things that I don't say to people yet, because it's going to be like crazy.
Yeah.
And that night, as I do it, another guy come to me. And he says, "Rafi, I really love what you do here." And I said, "Thank you." He says, "I don't know you, but I got to talk to you." I said, "Sure," because I'm always listening to people. He says, "I'm building an hotel in Hollywood. I'm launching in March. Same time. Can you build Rafi Lounge in the hotel?"
Let's go.
I said, "Absolutely, I can." When you stay positive and you smile to everybody, the world will smile to you. It's very simple. I'm going to smile tomorrow to everybody. Everybody says to me, "Rafi, for 0.1 ETH, let's say tomorrow the ETH go to 200. For $200, you come for a lifetime to see classes by Brooke Burke, by me, by so many gurus. You're going to listen to lectures about NFT live. You'll be able to ask sometimes questions. It's a no-brainer. I understand that some people want to flip. I'm going to guess that 50-50 going to happen there probably, or even 70-30.
Yeah.
There's going to be a core that's growing. And I'm happy. These people going to, listen, tomorrow you buy that, it's going to be value much more than the money. To listen to all those people, you listen to one person sometime, it will be a lifetime changing. Lifetime changing. Some people that will come to your life, this little touch, they don't even know. And it might have changed you from doing one thing that you decide you don't want to do anymore and give you this little push that you needed.
Dude, that's
Fox
beautiful.
always says to me, Jamie Fox always says to me, Rafi, sometimes this little touch is the touch of life. Is the touch of life. Jamie Fox, he's a good friend, not because he's a good friend. I'm saying it. I'm saying it because of that. He's a good friend.
Mm-hmm.
He touched so many lives in so many ways, daily, daily. This guy, I don't know how he's getting the time to do all he does, plus touch so many lives. You know,
Yeah.
really. So we have to learn from those. So when I opened, I said, okay, let's open tomorrow. I said, it doesn't matter. Those who overcome that fear, those who see the opportunity will reap the benefit. That's
Yeah.
all there is to it, you know? So I'm very excited about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, from a
Yes.
Web3 angle, you're labeling it the right way. You're describing it, communicating it the right way, so people know when they're buying in that they're paying for the membership, not for the NFT, like little token they're going to get that they can flip. Which is a
No,
strategy I use for my own NFT project, my own art collections. Was basically when they bought in a year ago, I was like, okay, look, there's like 20 of them, and there's 26 in the second class, very very small. I was like, you're buying this because you think I'm going to take over and beat Joe Rogan in the podcasting game. Like the goal is to take over whatever that is. I'm on this journey. I want to win. And the part of it is to support that endeavor. Part of it is to invest in whatever I'll be able to bring with partnerships or whatever I end up doing in the future. I want to be able to deliver for those people. And so because of that, there's no FUD. There's no people screaming about the floor. There's no just stupid things that you normally
no,
have to worry about. And
no,
it
there's no
sounds like you're not
judgment.
going to worry about them. Yeah, exactly.
No
Exactly.
judgment. And here is the thing. You must. I'll be very honest. There's always gonna be some kind of judgment, right? There's always gonna be some people that not happy.
Mm-hmm.
That just in my business, it will always be the case. I have students that challenge me in the past. You know,
What kind of
simple.
things?
For example, you teach people. Here I am, right? You teach somebody and said to him, you punch me here, and I'm going to block, and I'm going to show one technique. And I go, Fwah! And I go like that. I say, you step to the side, you block, and you go 45, and you punch, right? That's all I teach. One, two, inside, right? And then one student, you show them to that slowly. That's a student, right? And everybody stand around. And then the student already knows that I'm moving 45 degrees. He'll be try to outsmart you and punch 45 degrees. So when I move here, he will punch here to the face. Just because he want to try. A student, it happened before. So he got kicked in the ribs and he broke his. That happened too.
Man.
You know?
I felt like I was in there. That's funny,
It's
dude.
sometimes everybody will challenge, everybody will push the envelope.
Yeah.
My students, thank God, right now I teach them Tai Chi. I just finished a class here. It's very soft. Even then, I show them the techniques of fighting in the Tai Chi. And people will always want to see and challenge you. And always you have people that, unfortunately, they a bit bored and they want to write things. And they want to write things about you. I don't think that 100% of the articles that came through my life were positive. But like Van Halen, you know Van Halen?
Yeah.
The band?
Mm-hmm.
So like Van Halen told me, Rafi, you can write any shit you want about me as long as you spell my name right. You know? It's the only attitude you can take, because you must understand, you're going to climb up in life. I can see it already. And I think that you're going to have a very successful podcast. I think that you are right on point with everything that you do. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that the more you have it, you will see that there will be some people that talk about you or do things. The higher you grow, the more target you become. It's just path of life. That's why I say don't ever try to be the number one. It's okay to be number two. It's okay.
That's interesting advice. Yeah, no, I mean, you've done a bunch of different things to actually, I'm probably more, people who are watching this probably don't know, but I'm a tad more spiritual than I think people would know, because most of my content's related to business and Web3. But I myself, like I said, I went on that spiritual journey, living in the car, trying to see what I was made out of, and just really face myself and be alone. You know, I'm sure that you've experienced that, just like solitude, and that'll change you. There's like millions of thoughts. I mean, there's so many thoughts that go through your head every single day, every single minute, every single hour. And to just be stuck with that was a really uncomfortable experience for 6 months, and a lot of growth happened there. And I remember a few months ago, actually, I got really into the, I guess just like you could describe it as like Eastern things. And I got involved and I started doing some online courses. I got into like Reiki a little bit, and that whole world is fascinating to me. And I definitely want to talk about that. I didn't know what the proper how the phases of your life went. I know you were a soldier. I know you mastered Tai Chi. You teach Tai Chi, Kung Fu as well. You went into
Mm.
and became a monk as well. Where
Yes.
where did that timeline start? How'd you get into it?
Well, when I was a kid, I was very, very small compared to the rest of my classmates. And I was abused. I was bullied a lot. Like when I say a lot, daily.
Mm,
Um, Now, girls even beat me up. That's how small I was.
wow.
And there was a girl, the name is Dina. She passed away, by the way. God rest her soul. But I remember that I was like maybe 9 years old, 8 years old, and every break we get sandwiches for the break in school, right? During the break we have our sandwiches from home, and every break everybody would look how Dina beat me up and steal my sandwiches, and everybody Dina, Dina, and she beats me up, and I grew like that. And later on, even the little gangs in the streets, they used to beat me up in the bus station while I wait for my bus, and then I would walk home. Now, what happened is that my father had a pacemaker, and I always knew that in the old days the pacemaker was very big. It was right here in the middle. He had a problem in his heart,
Mm,
and he always told me that if it's very dangerous because if he get hit, he can die just from that. So my father would get very upset that I'm late from school because I was walking because they would steal my money and beat me up, and I can't even tell my dad to protect me or say anything because I was afraid that they will go and hit his
yeah.
heart. So I never told him. So I get home, I get again downloaded from my father. So with that said, I grew up very tough, and I was a very different kid at the same time. I was working in the zoo voluntarily every
The
day after
zoo?
school. Yeah, I was
A-
volunteering.
animals? The zoo?
Animals, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I love
That's
animals. I love nature. I love
nice.
so much that even one time I wait for everybody to sneak out. I mean, to leave. I was sneaking behind. I hide. It was Wednesday. They feed the tigers every Wednesday at the zoo. So I
Dude,
waited
no.
on Wednesday, took the key, and went into the cage to play with the tigers.
And
Keep
that's
me up
how
to
you lost your left leg?
That's when I like it, lost everything. I lost my mind. But I was like I was this kind of a strange kid. So with that said, when it then I became really bad, like I started to join the gang because I realized that if I do for them things, they
Mm,
will protect me. And I'm talking to you age 13. I smoke 2 packets of cigarettes a day, and
wow.
I try to look tough. And I
Yeah.
work with gangs, and I help them to steal things from cars and do things just to legitimize myself. And then I got thrown out of normal school because I was a bad student, and I went to an art school, and they got me there because I used to draw. I was a very good artist.
Mm,
And then one day, my sports teacher, who is my friend until today in school, told me that his friend came from Hong Kong, and tomorrow there's going to be a lecture with this guy from Hong Kong. So we all come there 7 o'clock in the morning to listen to this guy who came from Hong Kong and study kung fu. And I
wow.
said to my mom, I want to study kung fu. She said, show me and prove me. So for half a year, I studied really hard in school, and I stopped smoking, and I started running 5 kilometers. Oh,
Nice.
she's nice now, but every day. And after half a year, she said, okay, I can go. And I started kung fu, my kung fu path. So I was 13 and a half, 14.
Wow.
And then in the school, there was karate, yoga, taekwondo, tai chi, and kung fu. So I end up
Mm,
spending between the age 14 to 18 until I joined the army, 8 hours a day in my kung fu school practicing all those disciplines. And I became the best in my hometown, so to speak, because I won my taekwondo teacher in fighting, and won a lot of fights there. And then I joined the army, spent 2 years in the Lebanon War. I was asked to become an officer. So you get sent to be an officer's course. It's not like America where you choose that or that.
mhm,
Everybody become first soldiers, then you make your way if you are suitable to become an officer. They pick and choose us and send us to officer's course. So they told me you have to go on Friday. I said, okay, Friday is when we go out. Every few weeks we go. So we said on Friday we leave with the rest of the platoon. Everybody had a weekend off, so you're gonna go with the truck. And usually for officers course, because it's a very intensive course, they try to give you a few more days before that's to breathe. So they say,
mm,
look, if we can find a truck that leave the camp before from Lebanon to Israel, we let you in. So Wednesday, 4:30, they said to me, Rafi, there's a truck leaving in 20 minutes. If you can get rid of all your things, that all your belongings that belong to the camp. We let you on the truck. Everybody help me. All my platoon. You must remember,
Nice.
it's all those people we all sleep in one. It's called tent 12. It's like it's a huge tent that we sleep together for 2 years, right? Everybody help. I
Nice.
leave. I'm starting to celebrate the weekend before I go to officers course. My platoon leaving on Friday as should. They all hold their guns on the trucks as they leave, and a beautiful woman waved to them. They all happy. They haven't seen home for a while. They wave to the woman. A law that shouldn't happen. They put their guards down. This woman was a suicide bomber. She crashed into them and killed them.
Oh,
Killed them
fuck.
all. I was the only survivor.
Oh
So
my God. Wait,
then I,
hold on. That like took me a second to like, wow. 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 Okay. Continue. Sorry.
then I became an officer, and I didn't even have time to mourn. And the only thing is, 6 people they didn't die. They got burned, third-degree burn. I went to see. I remember Gershon, who was right next to me in the bed next to me in the army. I don't even want to describe it. It's not for people to understand, but it was really heartfelt. But then I became an officer, and I was in a tank unit in the Golan Heights on the Syrian border for the rest of my service. 3 days after that, already I was in Hong Kong
Wow.
practicing kung fu 10 hours a day. I kept my discipline power that I had from the army. I
Mm.
didn't want to have a dive. I went straight for 10 hours a day, kung fu in monastery conditions in Hong Kong, in the Hong Kong side, Kowloon side, in a place called Mongkok area. It's a little apartment. I sleep on a table for 2 years. I sleep on a table because it didn't have a mattress or anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Practice every day, every day, every day. At the end of those 2 years, I trained too much. My teacher called his students. We had a meeting, and he said, "Please tell Rafi that the only thing that stayed alive in his body is his eyes, and he needs to stop and go home." I overtrained, which I believe that's what happened, by the way, to Bruce Lee, overtraining. And I had
Mm.
heart palpitations because of that. Came to America to visit. My sister was living here. Didn't like it at all. I didn't understand it too much. It was too much for me. Big guys, big tattoos,
Yeah.
big that, big that.
When was this?
That was, you want to know the year? 89.
Oh no. 89. Okay.
89.
All right.
Then I moved to Israel. Back to Israel, study statistics in university, which I
Nice.
didn't like, but that's what I got into. I don't know why even. And I study and I teach Kung Fu. I teach Kung Fu, and I grew my teacher school from 70 people to 400 in 1 year. And
Wow.
after a year and a half, because I everybody came to study from me. I was fresh from Hong Kong.
Mm.
I was anybody want to come to fight from Muay Thai, from this,
Yeah.
from that, just come and fight. And all the time, everybody see me. I was like this, you know. And then a friend of mine opened a gym in South Africa, so I said, okay, I'll move to South Africa. I moved to Johannesburg, opened kung fu schools there. They said to me, if you want your paperwork, you have to compete and show us that you're really above everybody in South Africa for the green card
Yeah.
in South Africa. So I compete and I won the South African Championship. So
Let's
then they said,
go.
will you represent us in the Shaolin World Championship in China? I said, okay. I went there 1992 and I won the World Championship for Sanda, Chinese full contact in Shaolin Temple. I was the first Caucasian man to win the Chinese.
Wow.
So that became, I was on the news there, and my key was actually roundhouse kick. I knocked out a lot of people in my roundhouse kick.
Is there footage of this somewhere? Like, is there footage of you like
If I
crushing
tell
these
you the
people
sad
or?
story that happened to that, but somebody stole my camera there in purpose.
Ah.
One of the team members that his parents were sponsoring us, and I had on camera, their son broke his leg, so they didn't want
Mm.
anybody to see. So they said somebody stole the camera, but I'm sure they did it. They didn't want anybody to see this footage, so it's gone.
Oh man, that
I
stinks,
have
but
one
that's
picture.
incredible.
I have one picture. Let me tell you about this.
Tell me.
I didn't. I thought I won the championship. So um, one of the president of the Federation of South Africa said to me, Rafi, let's celebrate now. Mind you, before the fight, 3 months, I'm just training.
Yeah.
But now I can let go. So I said, let's. So we bring 2 beers, and now it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then the interpreter of the Wushu Federation of China comes to me. She says to me, Mr. Antabi. I said, yes. She says, I need to talk to you. I said, yeah. She said, there was a mistake. I said, what mistake? She said, we thought you won, but we missed on one fight. I said, what do you mean? She said, no, it's not a big problem. You can take third place, or you can go in half an hour and fight again.
Oh
I'm
my
two
God.
beers, which I don't drink,
Yeah.
which really I'm like, so I said, okay, I'm going to fight. So I go, and it's a Chinese guy. No, it's a guy from Austria who had a Taiwanese teacher.
Mm.
And I decided I'm just gonna stay down to basic this time. So all I do is I do jab and I go low kick on the shin, right? On the thigh and the shin area, right? And that's all I do all the time. I go like that and like that. Now here is the thing, I'm lefty, but all my fights I did like I'm righty, right?
Mhm.
So all I do is I stand like this with the left and I hit with my right all the time. So I go jab, jab, boom, jab, jab, boom. And there are 3 rounds in the Shaolin in the Sanda tournament. So I um, the first round, I just hit him hard as I can. And I didn't know what it's going to bring me down to, but I knew that I keep myself from getting knocked out.
Right.
And then round 2, I see that he changed legs. So I realized
Oh,
his
okay.
leg really hurting.
Yeah.
But what I did know that when I change legs, my left leg is stronger. And nobody knew it. I kept it as a secret weapon because Chinese people always right.
Yeah.
Even if you're born left, they teach you right.
Interesting.
All weapons, sword and everything is right.
Interesting.
So I changed now to left. And I went jab, jab, and I went wham, right with the left leg. And I saw him going, I remember it in slow motion. He goes, like that. And then I jump with the other leg and kick. And he put the other leg and it broke. And the next day he was very much of a sportsman. He came the next day on crunches to, because they took him on a stretcher out, and he came with the crunches to take pictures with me, and I won the championship. And that was the story of Shaolin, you know?
Bro, that's
And
ridiculous.
yeah. And then I came back to South Africa. I was teaching hand-to-hand combat in a private army that's protecting all the miners in Namibia. It was the largest missionary army in the world. I was the head of the hand-to-hand combat there. And then I opened a school, and then my friend who was Muslim, what they call in South Africa colored, half black, half white, mulati, and I was Israeli Jewish, and he said, Rafi, let's open a club together. So we end up turning half of the Kung Fu school, we had a house on the side, breaking all the wall, and opening the first multiracial nightclub after the apartheid that allowed black and white. It was the first club in South Africa that allowed black and white to come inside. And it was the most beautiful thing for 4 years. Anybody from South Africa from this time, you tell him soul to soul, he will tell you absolutely. And he'll tell you, oh, Rafi with a ponytail. At the time, I had a ponytail.
You had a ponytail? No way.
I wish I could say, I don't know if I can
Oh,
show
that's
it.
awesome.
But
awesome.
yeah, so, I mean, it was a time that everybody was so beautiful there. And Mandela's daughter came and let me see.
Wait, what? What did you say?
Mandela's daughter, you see?
Oh, that's incredible. Wow.
Yeah, that's me.
Wow, that's incredible. Wow, very cool.
And then Jackie Chan came, wanted to make a movie called Wash the Soy in Chinese. It's Who Am I? I don't know if you saw this movie. I was supposed to get a big part, but then they changed the whole script. So they said, well, you just be a villain. I was a villain. And then they said to me, well, we're going to shoot Russia or in America. You want to come with us? I said, I'll come.
Let's go.
And my sister was here. That was it. I never came back. Then I started to teach here and doing Kung Fu and doing Tai Chi. Then September 11 came. And then I've been asked to do a counterterrorism consulting because I was very much involved with it before. I became the head of counterterrorism between America and Israel for non-government to government, help them to secure all kind of facilities and things that I cannot talk about. And then my best friend from childhood got shot and died. Then I said enough. And then I stopped and I went to the monasteries in China, practice, came back here, opened a jewelry line called Bullets for Peace. Yes. I make jewelry from recycled bullets. If you go to any hotel in America and you switch on TV, you'll see me and Mario Lopez talking about it. And we 20 million people see us every month on TV, and we sell it and we do charities. That's how I got involved with celebrities, because I've been involved with a lot of celebrities that wanted to do things for the charity. And then later on, again, I start to study Chinese medicine and acupuncture. And then they found out during that time that I have something called AMD, macular degeneration, which means that the cells in the back of your eye break down slowly and you become blind. And they told me that there's no cure for that. I left everything, went to China, to Beijing, studied medical Qigong, energy exercises for healing.
Yeah.
From there, went to Wudan, became a monk in the Taoist monasteries, practiced Tai Chi, Qigong, all that. Came back and it's gone. And I was okay. And it's a lesson for people to learn. Number one is always believe in yourself more than you believe in anybody else. Number two, there are paths and there are ways for healing. You just have to find and really believe that they are out there and search for them. And then I came back here. I was teaching Qigong and Tai Chi to many people, chronic conditions, never failed. And then I developed two other things. And I had other businesses. For example, I was running all the gift lounges for the awards. So every award, when you go inside and you get gifts and the celebrities get gift bags and things like that, I was running it. And it was amazing. And I ran the BET Awards, American Music Award, Country Music Awards, Billboard Awards, and backstage, the experiences. Was an amazing experiences, met a lot of celebrities through that who became good friends of mine, some of them students too, like Chadwick Boseman, who passed away, the Black Panther, and others. Whoever, on the weekend that we were here, we had Mike Coulter. I don't know if you know him. He played Luke Cage.
Yeah.
So he's a good friend. He's a member here. He comes a lot. And he came for this night that we all had. And then when the pandemic started, the first thing I saw is God gave me a gift. I told you, I see always what's the positive in things. When everything was a shutdown, I said, God gave me one of the best things that I could ever wish for, to see America without people. Took my Jeep all the way from LA, traveled all the way to Yellowstone by myself, and I did something called 30 Days Untouched on my Instagram, and show every day how nature look when we don't touch it.
Wow.
Came back, everything was a fear mode here. And I said, everybody's too much in a fear mode. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something to help people. I'm running on the beach. Somebody ran next to me and says, hey, I like your Jeep. We start talking. I said, are you local in Malibu? He said, no, but I have an office. I said, well, he says, across from Noble. I said, really? Can I see it? I come, I see this empty balcony. I said, what are you doing with the balcony? He said, nothing. I said, well, can I be a partner?
Oh, disappeared. Wait, he's back. He's back. Sec. And hold on. Rafi, can you hear me? One sec, fam. Little pause, camera break, or commercial break. Let's see if he pops in a message real quick. By the way, click that like button for all these stories. I am learning a shit ton right now. I can't see you or hear you. Yeah, man, what a story. I'm not sure if you can hear me right now. Oh, it's just connection. So, Rafi, if you can hear me, your network connection has gone to zero. So potentially Wi-Fi, potentially the device itself. I'm not sure. Hold on. All right. Yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, we're just taking a quick little break while he does it. What's up, TikTok fan? Thanks for being here. Holy moly. 1,500 likes on TikTok. TikTok lives be going crazy. Man, yeah, there's definitely a couple questions I want to ask. I'm hoping he can come back on so I can ask the questions. Like for me, I want to ask a selfish question more related to death, because he's been able to channel losses, like emotional human loss, which is, I mean, I was going to ask him before, like, what are some L's that you've taken? Because his life is just, it seems like he's just done a bunch of cool things. And a lot of the big ones have been fueled by something that happened that was kind of bad, like a death. And then he used that to kind of channel more energy. And I assume it has something to do with like the Eastern practices he does, like the martial arts or Qigong or stuff like that. And I kind of want to learn more about that, because that's like a very applicable thing. Oh, there he is. Hey, dude.
Something happened and my computer died.
All good. All good. No problem. No problem.
Can you see me now?
I can.
So.
Oh, hold on. Wait. You're back actually on your. Oh no, it disappeared. No. Your laptop came back on.
See me well though.
Oh. All right. Let me turn this one off then. All right. And cool. Can you still see me?
Yes. Can you see me?
Yes, I can. Awesome.
Cool.
Perfect.
So, where were we before the computer?
We were talking about
died?
Chigan, how you had met with that guy, and he said nice Jeep, and you went and saw his
Yeah.
balcony.
And then I end up taking this balcony all over this balcony, and I turn it into this. And I said, first, I was Jamie Foxx, my friend, and he said, "What are you gonna do with it?" I said, "I don't know what I'm gonna do, but the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna," because it was like a flat concrete, and I took it and I started to build more and more and more and more. You knew it became this place that everybody came, and it was a whole community, and it part. So we built cabanas with 6 foot apart, and I let people come, and then I build a screen. I can bring them to enhance everybody's wellness, but I need to really give them more than that, right? And so I put the screen and teaching with all kind of gurus from Wudan Mountains, from Tibet, from Nepal, from all those places. And we still, by the way, part of the thing is they will see them every time I go live with monks, out of whoever is in the unity that we're gonna mint to more. Which is, by the way, I'm gonna go outside and also get another. I'm just looking here how to flip the camera on this one because I would love you actually while I was at that. I think you guys can see it while I'm picking up there's somewhere else. I don't know if there's a way to flip the camera. Actually.
You may not be. You might have to hold it selfie style and show us your POV like that kind of thing.
So you'll have to see me in the background. Sorry, guys, but you'll have to as I do that. So there's a lot of music, but you can see we're going.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So this is the lounge, and you see the screen here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big screen. It's the best actually LED socket as far as installation and everything. And by the way, the bars are here because I was teaching technology. This is the. You see?
Wow.
So it's all Bali style, and all here, and people sit here. You can see actually, Leila is one of our members.
Hey, Leila. Shout out, Leila.
And my
hey.
You get a full thing here. So
man,
and
the whole experience.
Yeah, we have another member right now here, Lauren.
Hey, Lauren.
And here, you see, we have a little tiki here, and this is what. And I'm gonna go live, by the way, for whoever wants. But we have the full moon. It's called the. We do it. The solar crystal that actually. Sorry, and as you see, there's a Japanese gate here.
Oh yeah.
The gate is for everybody. So it
looks just like the Miyajima gate. Awesome.
Yeah, it's all crystals all around it. And by the way, a lot of all flowers that allow the butterflies to eat. So that's for the monarch's butterfly. See, this is a milkweed, especially for the monarchs to come to migrate because there was a big problem with the. So all day long you see a lot of hummingbirds. Mind you, you see the concrete floor here?
Mm-hmm.
It was all just this floor. Nothing. We decided to turn it in. So this is Japanese crystal garden, and this is the Balinese garden where I came from. Where you saw me earlier, we call it the Yin Temple, where people can come and do things as far as meetings. I'm gonna go there, get the charger, by the way, as I'm speaking to you here. And it's not a normal interview, isn't it?
This is the best, dude. This is awesome. I'm having so much fun watching this. I'm feeling real FOMO, by the way, that I didn't go because I'm like, man, they were just here.
So that's the entrance, and then you can go here to the Yang Temple. And the Yang Temple, by the way, that's the other illustrated that. And here there's a small sign that says, "Welcome to Rafi Lounge. To yourself." That's the sign.
Nice. Love that.
And then go to the Yang Temple. And in the Yang Temple, you can come inside here. All the Tibetan mandalas that I did from sand. You see?
Yeah, I do see it.
And those are all the mandalas. And it takes about 2,000 hours to create each mandala. And then
Oh my God.
that I collect from around the world. There's different scents here. That, and here you can see we do like private sound baths here.
Yeah.
And you see that's the mandalas too. And then over here, we have Zen garden for butterflies.
Beautiful.
You see?
That is beautiful. Yeah.
And if you can see here, can you see?
I can. Yep. Incredible.
Right? So there's a lot of butterflies here. People come here, you see it's ready for a Reiki session.
Nice.
And we do Reiki sessions with in this garden. And it's all like a little jungle, you know?
This is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, I love this.
It's cool. And then you see the corners here, you've got crystals everywhere. It's really we keep on building and building and doing. Keep on and by the way, that's my little office, so we can continue this year. But that's my bullet jewelry. You see?
Oh, that's the jewelry. Okay, dude. Yeah, no, I'm very excited to check some of that out. I'm a jewelry guy myself. I'm a big ring guy. Like rings are my favorite thing. But jewelry, I love. I love shiny things, and I don't know.
Yeah, they're really, really nice. And I also paint with charcoal powder painting. So
Wow. Wait, you did those?
Yeah.
You painted that?
I studied charcoal powder painting when I was in Chiang Mai, in the old city. You see?
Wow.
And that.
The detail is crazy like on those.
Yeah, I'm very, very much a Virgo.
How long did that take? Yeah.
about 600 hours. Also, it's a long time. It's about 600 hours for each one.
Oh my God.
Things take time, you know?
Yeah.
I'm trying to settle this phone somewhere. Sorry about all, but I'm trying to really make sure that we charge and everything is charged. Yeah, that's it. So
there's a great question here actually from Metazet. He says, when you buy the NFT, do you get like indefinite access? Can you stay can you stay like 2 days, 1 day, 3 days? Like what's the exact details for that?
Okay. Depend which tier you talk. You talk about the mindful tier, the 4 ETH one. If it
probably.
If it talks about the mindful one, then it's a lifetime. You can come as one and you can bring up to 12 people with you to work.
Okay.
So you can come here, sit down, work on the computer, but you're the only one that can access it to any class you want. They pay 50% of the class.
Got it.
Which is a great thing too. You must understand, people will come, someone daily, and pay the $45 per class or $33 per class, whatever it is. Come here, they can bring them and then get the other one for 50% on top of that. And some people do it, and then the husband and wife will join the 50% one, you know. And then the other thing is that they will be able to do it in every. So that's very important. Now, if you're in Unity, you're allowed to come in every location, and it can be 3 consecutive days, which means let's say that you're in Seattle and LA, all those 3 days you will be able to be with us. You will also one of our events. So for example, when we do now the Art Basel event, if you will allow you to come to this event, to network with the others, because we want access to a lot of things, and for nothing really, because again, I'm trying to build the right community, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're doing it right.
And when it comes to the other community, very cautious about what we bring, obviously, and how we do it, because we want everybody to be, and not people that, you know, when you deal with celebrity, you have to be very cautious about everything, and when you deal with a lot of issues that can come up, so we're very protective of our community.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know I want to be aware of the time here, so I had a couple last questions here, if that's okay. So this is more like a selfish question because it's just something I haven't dealt with yet that you have dealt with, and you've turned it into some beautiful things, and you've just accomplished cool things, partially maybe because of it. Like what role and like how do I say this? The role of death I have yet to experience with anyone close to me, which scares me to say out loud because I just don't want to put that energy out there. But I haven't dealt with that yet, like barely. Like I mean, maybe like my dog, but they all happen when I wasn't there, so I haven't had to deal with that yet. And you've been able to turn some of like the close people in your life who didn't make it, and turn into something pretty incredible. Like, would you say that the kung fu, the qigong, like those things helped channel that, or like what is your advice for people when they deal with something as traumatic as that?
You know, death is it's probably the big fear of death. Bruce Lee, actually, there's a video writing of him saying that if you want to be liberated, you need to learn the art of dying. You must understand that death happens in a most natural way. We can't prevent it because of death. You must understand that there's not going to be life without death. So now, when we lose somebody very close to us, we need to think about two things that happen that we can attach to that, because a lot of that we will never understand. That for us, he will never die and live. That's very important, and you need to understand what do I mean by that. When somebody died, for him, he's not now feeling bad, feeling sad. He's gone. So they go into a path that is unknown for us, but they go to another path. Die. We are energy. That's 100% for sure. Energy never forms. It can never die. Therefore, their death is not absolute. It's not for them. So whoever suffer is not them, because they're gone. It's the people suffer. And with that understanding now, we need to understand that no matter what, stay alive for the rest. Let me show you an example again about one of the people that I admired. He died at age 36. You know how Bruce Lee looked like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows what Bruce Lee looked like. Right, for me, how Bruce Lee looked like, would he live today? He had the same impression with everybody.
Yeah.
Although it sounds horrible that he died young, most beautiful death that he stayed eternal for everybody and young and powerful. There's a very profound thing to it. Very profound thing. So when saving this world or this universe, what he give us, and that's what we need to cherish. And death is not something that happened only when somebody died. Relationship, right? So for that matter, sometimes life in a relationship, but they still stay inside your heart. You can never make they were part of your life. The only thing you can say, I have a very special place for her in my heart, because the Taoists say, imagine life, for good or for bad, was enlightened by you. And the only reason why it is to enlighten you. And therefore, you're the only one that are not in everybody that you came across your life, no matter how harsh was the incident or the relation, they made you a better person of you, a better version of you. You will hold them in a very special place in your heart. You will always come up in a memory. You will always their life rather than mourning their death. Very important to understand that. That come to my life, I cherish everyone who was there, and everybody gave me some duplicate with anybody else. I can only see what can I get from somebody else.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that was beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. That was very helpful for me too. And yeah, I was gonna follow up with like a couple of like silly rapid fire questions if that's cool,
Sure.
just to finish off.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm just so interested in this because like, do you have dreams? Like, do you just dream about normal, random, weird stuff at all, or is like what do you dream?
Ooh, very good question. First of all, you heard about Sun Tzu? Sun Tzu was a philosopher, Taoist philosopher. He said, I'm a butterfly flying happily between the flowers. And no longer was sure if I'm Sun Tzu dreamed of a butterfly or if I'm a butterfly dreaming right now that I'm Sun Tzu. Life, reality.
I have heard of this. I took a class actually, and they talked about this.
And it's the most beautiful thing, because my life is half dream, half reality. I dream things that become reality. I dream about things that really come in the middle of the idea, and I make them happen.
Yeah.
A lot of my dreams are coming in different languages because I speak Hebrew, English, and I kind of see sometimes I wake up and they teach me Kung Fu in the middle of the night, and I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and say, I have to practice it. In my dream, it's real. And I go and I practice that thing. I'll never share it with anybody, but
Yeah.
And sometimes I dream. Last night I dreamed about my friend that died from a gunshot. Actually, he was very thin with long hair, and I said to him, "Dudu, you're alive?" And he said, "Yeah, his name is Dudu." And why the heck all this time you hide from me? He says, "I didn't want people to know that I'm alive. A different reality, and I realized in different reality." He says, "I'm alive. I just didn't want people to know because I didn't want them to bother me anymore." I dream strange dreams. I have very vivid dreams. It's a good question. I have very vivid dreams, and I'm very intuitive. I sometimes will dream of a 3:48, and I wake up and I look at the watch and it's 3:48.
That's wild. What?
Very, very strange. One time, I'll tell you one story quickly.
Yes.
I studied at the Kabbalah Center, and I studied that the head of the Kabbalah Center was actually the whole Kabbalah Center worldwide, Rabbi Berg. I dreamt that he was a kid, and I dreamt that he's holding his. And I come through the synagogue, and he says, "Karen, can I play?" Sure. Now, at the time when I'm dreaming this, I'm a monk in China, and then I hold him in, and he suddenly became ashes, and he fell to the floor. I go back to, and I'm scared to tell it to the Kabbalah people because they're very, very spiritual, and they might think that Rafi went cuckoo. So a few months later, somebody said to me, "You know that the Rav had a problem." I said, "What?" He had a stroke. Hospital now for a while, and he's home. He can't talk. He can't walk. Wife, who passed away, by the way. I said, "Karen, I teach that. The Rav cannot walk, cannot talk. You know that I fix chronic conditions, and well, and I have good success rate. I want to teach the Rav." She said to me, "No problem. Tuesday, 8 o'clock in the evening to our house." I said, "Yes, I come." She sit down. I came to sit in the end of the table, and she feed him with a spoon. She feed him with a spoon slowly as soup.
Wow.
Look, Rafi, who came here? Rafi, remember Rafi? So he does like that, like a little kid. He says, "Rafi came to play with me. You want to play with Rafi?" He says, "Yeah, I want to play with Rafi." The stairs, and I start teaching him. And I was like, that's too much. Rabbi Berg for 1 year, Tai Chi and Qigong. He could walk, he could talk. I got to tell you that in this 1 year that you teach somebody who's 80 years, and while you're teaching the man Kabbalah, the number one, you teach him Tai Chi. You don't expect for one thing to happen, which happened. Tai Chi on that year, from him, more than I studied from any Tai Chi master in the world. The information that he gave me through Kabbalah enlightened me in so many ways. And I don't take everything down. And there's so many profound things that he told me that no Tai Chi teacher in the world would teach me. And he said to me, he looked at me and he smiled. Very old man. And he smiled with this big beard. And he looked again and he smiled. And we do Qigong. We just stand in meditation. And he said, "You know why I'm smiling?" He said, "Why?" He says, "Because that's not the first time that we practice Tai Chi and Qigong together." "No, Rav, I'm coming to you for a year now. Now I'm worried that he doesn't remember." He says, "No, and that we're doing the same thing."
we're practicing Tai Chi and Qigong together. It was very interesting.
Wow, dude, what a story! That is incredible. That is literally incredible. Man, I literally could go on for hours with you. You've got, yeah, we'll have to. I would love to schedule like a part 2 or something. So hopefully we'll get you back onto the show, because that was super enlightening for me, and I learned a lot. And I think people who are especially excited for the Web3 thing, the Web3 access that they get to you and to the Rafi Lounge, I think it's going to be some of the coolest stuff ever. So, dude, thank you for spending some time with me and talking about it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and thank you for Angel in the back there, by the way, helping us, and I appreciate everything. So.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, man. Guys, if you are in the chat right now, click that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. Code word, because I know some of you guys have been here since the very beginning. Code word is going to be, of course, Rafi in all caps if you made it to the end, so that we know that you made it to the end. Code word Rafi. Again, click the like button, subscribe to the channel. All the Rafi Lounge and Rafi's information, links, and all that stuff is down below in the description. Just click it. If you're like on Twitter or something, I should have tagged them. So just click on their account if you want to find out more. They mint tomorrow. And yeah, it's just gonna be a really cool thing. So make sure you guys do that. And yeah, again, Rafi, thank you for coming on. And we'll hopefully get you back on the show. And guys, until next time, continue on your Joyage, continue to learn, and be grateful you're alive watching this video. Bye.